Are you new to Baltimore and you're wondering, what is there to get into? What are the fun activities, places, maybe things off the beaten path, maybe things that only the locals know about? In today's video, we are gonna talk all about the best things to do in Baltimore. Originally from North Carolina, so when I first moved here, I didn't know where to go either. I was stuck in the tourist traps, and it takes a little bit of time to figure out where the cool places to go, and I have got you covered. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and you tap the bell for notifications so that you can be notified when all of the latest content is new to the channel. You've come to the right place if you're looking for everything there is to know about living, working, playing, thriving in Baltimore. So make sure that you stay tuned to the end of the video because we are going to talk about some great activities, things to do, and some of the things on the list you probably have never even heard of before. My name is Persia and I'm a local real estate agent. I do business in the Baltimore area, but also in all of the surrounding counties. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, please feel free to reach out to me. I absolutely love helping people to move to Baltimore. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, send me a text, phone call, send me an email, and I will be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to Baltimore. Okay, so the first thing on the list of my favorite things to do in Baltimore is going to be Baltimore Restaurant Week. And the reason I bring this up is because it's actually coming up. It is from January 26th to February 4th this year, and you're watching this video in 2024. So it is an amazing time to try out some of the best restaurants in the city. And if you didn't know, Baltimore is a foodie town. There are so many restaurants, bars, places to get incredible things to eat and cocktails. So Baltimore Restaurant Week is a really great time to try out some of these establishments. And Baltimore Restaurant Week is actually featuring about 100 of the best dining establishments in the city. So it's an excellent opportunity to try out some new restaurants that you've been meaning to try in the area. Restaurant Week features 10 days of prefixed menu. So restaurants have a prefixed menu for lunch, brunch, and dinner. So you can get different times of the day and try different cuisines at these restaurants. And some of my favorite restaurants that have specials going on for Restaurant Week are Johnny's in Roland Park, the Food Market in Hamden, and one of my favorite outdoor locations, which it's not a great time since we're in January right now for outdoors, but Little Havana in Federal Hill has a beautiful outdoor patio and pictures of margaritas. So it's a great place to check out. The second thing on the list of best things to do in Baltimore have to be sports. And I gotta say, I'm wearing purple today. The Ravens are in the playoffs. I wish that I knew more and I should be watching more football, but I do know that Baltimore is a sports town, so people will freeze their butts off in M&T Bank Stadium to watch the Ravens. People will sweat their butts off in the summertime to see the Baltimore Orioles. And we're just a sports town. So if you are a sports fan, or even if you're not, it's a great opportunity to visit Camden Yards or to visit Baltimore's M&T Bank Stadium so that you can get a real taste of what local Baltimore sports fans are like. Another great thing to do in Baltimore City is taking a visit to Fort McHenry. I actually visited for the first time with my dad maybe a couple years ago, and it was actually a cool experience. I'm not the biggest history buff, but it was pretty cool. It's the location of the Battle of Baltimore, and it's also where Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner. It's really cool, has good views of the water, and it's in one of my favorite neighborhoods. It's in Federal Hill, so you could make a quick trip to Fort McHenry, walk around, see the sights, and then find some great restaurants and things to do in Federal Hill. So that's one that I would definitely recommend. Baltimore is a town that has lots of museums that are worth checking out. Some examples of the museums that you should definitely visit are the Walters Art Museum, which is located in Mount Vernon, the Baltimore Museum of Art, which is located in Charles Village, and the Visionary Arts Museum, which is located in Federal Hill. The Visionary Arts Museum, or the AVAM, is a really awesome museum. I'm actually a member because it always has new exhibits and it features some more alternative artists, people that have a different type of artistic background than what is typical. And you'll notice it in Federal Hill because it's covered in all of these mosaics of glass shards and it just looks really cool. And it's even cooler on the inside when you're walking around and taking a look at all of the exhibits. So I would absolutely recommend the American Visionary Arts Museum and all of the other museums that Baltimore has to offer. Next on the list is the Peabody Library, and I know libraries might come off as boring, and I'm not intending you to go there and just like be quiet and check out books, but the Peabody Library is something to check out more because it is a stunning architectural spectacle. It was built in the late 1700s, and it's just gorgeous. It has over 300,000 volumes and features some of the most stunning architecture in the city. So if you just have an afternoon to spare and you happen to be in the Mount Vernon neighborhood of Baltimore, I would highly check out the library, Peabody Library in Mount Vernon. Another thing that people might not know is that Maryland Zoo is located in Baltimore. So the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore is located in Druid Hill Park, which is another space that I'm going to talk about a little bit later when we're talking about outdoor spaces. But it's definitely a great place to check out, especially if you've got the kiddos and you want to, take some strolls and look at some animals. The Maryland Zoo in Baltimore is definitely something to check out. Okay, next on the list is the Horseshoe Casino, and I gotta admit, I am not much of a gambler, so I have never even been in the casino. It's downtown in South Baltimore. I know a lot of people like to go there, spend time. It's a huge facility, has bars and restaurants, the typical casino type stuff. So if you like to gamble, if you kind of just like those environments, then the Horseshoe Casino in Baltimore is something to check out. Okay, next on the list is music, and I'm excited about this one because Baltimore has a big scene for Baltimore club music, which is its own genre of music. If you don't know Baltimore club music, look it up, and house music. So there is a huge house music scene here in Baltimore, and it's really, really awesome because there are a lot of festivals, dance parties all over the city, and events that are catered to people who are really into the house scene. And I absolutely love it because I love to dance and I love to people watch, and going to Baltimore house music events is some of the best people watching that you will ever find. People get so into it. People have amazing footwork. The music is fun. The environment is fun. Everybody is so friendly and welcoming. So if you are a music fan, if you love to dance, then Baltimore is a great town for you because if you look, if you know where to look, if you know who to talk to, you can find some amazing dance parties. Another great thing about Baltimore is that we are a festival town. So during the spring, summer, and fall months, there are so many festivals, including multi-day festivals to look forward to. Some of my favorite festivals to check out, I had to write them all down, are Artscape, Afram, Pride, Hunfest, which is in Hamden, Flower Mart, which is my favorite springtime festival, Sowebo, Southwest Baltimore Festival, and the Maryland Film Festival, just to name a few. So that's definitely something to put on your calendar. Okay, let's make a transition to some of the things that we can do outside. And I know that we're in January right now, but there's gonna be people watching this video in the springtime, and all of these outdoor events are gonna be ready for you. So let's talk about the outdoors. First up is Baltimore's water taxi, which I think is really cool. It's like an Uber on the water, and it's a really affordable and efficient way to get around the Inner Harbor area. So you can go from like Fells Point to Federal Hill, and and you can travel all in the water taxi, and they're really, really awesome. So I would highly recommend checking those out if you want an alternative way and a cool local way to get from here to there. So as I mentioned, we're in winter right now, but water taxi service will resume in April. So it's definitely a springtime through summer and fall thing to do. Another water and boat related activity, this is a harbor town, so there's a lot of boat life going on, but one thing that I have never participated in, but I notice all the time when I'm down in Fells Point, is called Urban Pirates. And it is a pirate ship, and people seem to really love it, tourists and locals alike, and people get all decked out. They wear their like pirate gear and have swords and things, and it's crazy. They have some tours that are just for children, so you'll see parents and their kids, and the kids are so excited. But then they also have adult cruises on these pirate ships, and they are BYOG, which stands for Bring Your Own Grog. So I think that grog is pirate speak for booze. Anyway, they look really fun. I never personally have done it. I do not know if I ever will, but it's something to check out, and it's certainly very festive. Okay, other outdoor activities that are a must in Baltimore are exploring Baltimore's parks. And two of Baltimore's parks are really noteworthy. One is Patterson Park, and the other is Druid Hill Park. These are big urban green spaces. They have lots and lots of square footage, and they have tennis courts, swimming pools, playing fields, so it has a little bit of everything. And I live closer to Druid Hill Park. And Druid Hill Park also has one of my favorite places, which is Rawlings Conservatory, which is definitely something that you would want to check out if you are a fan of flowers and plants. It's a huge indoor conservatory that has just an amazing selection of plants. I love to go there and go there like at least once a year, so that's something that I would recommend. But the larger parks are Patterson Park and Druid Hill Park, and there are other smaller parks that are scattered all throughout the city. Some are like Canton Waterfront Park, there's Lincoln Park, there's Federal Hill Park, so there's so many different parks. Like I said, near my house there's Herring Run Park, so lots of parks and green spaces to check out. So even though Baltimore is an urban environment and an urban area, there are lots of places to take in greenery, to take a hike, and to get some fresh air. The last highlight on my list of outdoor activities in Baltimore is going to be Loch Reservoir. It's one of my favorite places to go, and if you don't mind traveling a little further north, it's definitely worth the trip. Loch Reservoir is actually where Baltimore City gets its water from, and it is spotted with lots of wooded hiking trails, bike trails, overlooks, and it's just a really awesome place to go to kind of get a more intensive hike in, so I would definitely recommend it. To be honest, this is just a small snippet of the things that there are to do in Baltimore. I tell you, there are so many festivals, so many things to do that I could probably go on for another hour, but this is just a little taste of some of my favorite things to check out in Baltimore. I would love for you to comment if you have any favorite things to do in Baltimore that were not on the list. I'm sure people would love to know what your recommendations are. If you're watching this video because you're trying to get a feel of Baltimore, you're going to be making the transition to the city, and you need a trusted advisor, somebody to help you make a transition, please make sure to reach out. You can call me, text me, email me. Again, I love helping people to make the move to the city, and it would be my pleasure to help you make a smooth transition to Baltimore. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.